tell me what my password is?
I love jazz.
I know you.
Well, that ain't it. It's all right. This is that one. All right, praise the Lord, poor boy. Thank you all so much for coming out. You know, we've had a lot of fun this afternoon preparing, and I say we, these great musicians and I have had a lot of fun. I hope they were having fun, because I sure was. I was in hog heaven. Preparing to share what we have to share with you today. Okay. Lord have mercy. All right, Kimberly, you out there?
I'm here.
You remember when I used to tease you all about doing these poems off of the devices?
Yes, I do.
All right. So here we are. We're doing it off the device with the wireless mouse, no less. You know, so hang on to your hat, everybody, and work along with me. Be with me. You know. You got another music stand? Okay. Don't run, take your time. Thank you all for coming here. My name is Morris, and I'm really honored to be working with these fabulous musicians. We'll introduce them to you once we really have your attention. And in quest of that, I'd like to do a few of my favorite things. I was saying, you know, we've been having fun this afternoon making my dream come true. I've had to pinch myself several times because ever since I was a little bitty boy, I have been dreaming about being able to jam with jazz musicians, but I didn't have no instrument, you know? All I had was this right here. And then I figured out, you know, I could call it, you know, an instrument and play it just like they could. And this is an opportunity, a dream come true for me to do that. I'd like to share a few conventional poems with you. I don't like this. I'm gonna turn this way. Conventional. I'd like to share a few of my favorite things, huh?
You want me to turn that down?
Yeah, please. Thank you. I'd like to share a few poems with you. Bless you. Do it like this one. Turn it up. Oh, like the music, like the regular one. Okay. Thank you.
Morris, tell me where you like it. You want it.
Shit. Excuse me. Did I cuss?
Nope.
Okay.
Is this okay? This level of light?
Yeah, I think so.
Is this okay for you?
Let's look at that tight, ain't it? All right. This is all part of it, you know. Did you know that? We have already started. The show has already begun. And so I brought a few of poems that I've been sharing, that I've been wanting to share, especially in the comfort of this listening room, where I trust that Bridget has already told you that there's no speaking during the show, so to speak. Okay, Jared. Here we go. This for sure. This one by Yanis Ritsos. I hide behind simple things. that you may find me. If you don't find me, you'll find the things. You'll find the things. You'll touch what my hand touches. The imprints of our hands will merge. The August moon glitters in the kitchen like a pewter pot. It becomes like this because of what I tell you. It lights up the empty house and the kneeling silence of the house. The silence remains kneeling. Every word is a way out for an encounter often canceled. And it's then a word is true when it insists on the encounter. It's a Greek poet, Yanis Ritsos. I hope you'll read it because these things are certainly better, as much enjoyed as or read as heard. And when you put the two together, you know, it's like word up. Exiled are we. We're exiles born. The far away. Language of desert, language of ocean, language of sky. As of the unfathomable worlds that lie between the apple and the eye, these are the only words we learn to say. Each morning, we devour the unknown. Each day, we find and get and spill or spend or lose a sunflower splendor of which none knows the source. Thank you. It's Conrad Aiken. And man, I actually could remember a poem there. Yeah, snaps, because I was looking for it here and I thought, well, doggone it, I might be able to remember it. You know, I went back against the wall, Maria, you know. Here's a couple more. I finally found them. Thank the Lord. I've done this a million times. I'm sorry to do this to you again, Stacy, but I really mean it. In my craft of sullen art, in my craft or sullen art, exercised in the still night, when only the moon rages and the lovers lie abed with all their griefs in their arms, I labor by singing light. Not for ambition or bread or the strut and trade of charms on the ivory stages, but for the common wages of their most secret heart. Not for the proud man apart from the raging moon I write on these spindrift pages, not for the towering dead with all their nightingales and psalms, but for the lovers, their arms round the griefs of the ages, who pay no praise or wages, nor heed my craft or art. That's old Dylan Thomas. Bad son of a gun, you know. Last summer gone, Dylan Thomas. And he was feeling it, you know. Couple more and then we'll try to really entertain you. You know, we all here and we have all been blessed with some kind of magic today. And it will only happen today and it'll be over, you know, but it'll still be here. And this is a beautiful thing that we can share in it with you all because we all, this whole group gets to be at the same place at the same time, and that's a beautiful thing. You know, everything is happening everywhere all the time, you know, all the time. It's just a matter of where you shine the light of your attention as to what you realize. It's all going on all the time, you know, all the time, everywhere. That's a beautiful thing because as Gerard Manley Hopkins so aptly caught in this classic poem here, the world is charged with the grandeur of God. The world is charged with the grandeur of God. It will flame out like shining from shook foil. It gathers to a greatness like the ooze of oil crushed. Why do men then now not wreck his rod? Generations have trod, and all is seared with trade, bleared, smeared with toil, and wears man's smudge and shares man's smell, the soil is bare now, nor can foot feel being shod. And for all this, nature is never spent. There lives the dearest deep down freshness, deep down things. And though the last light off the black west went, oh, morning at the brown brink eastward springs, because the Holy Ghost over the bent world broods, with warm breast and with bright wings. I like that one. And I think that we might be ready to, y'all ready? Might be ready to shift this into a musical thing, and those this music would help me find in my nervousness the other poems I was looking for here, because I got one more here for you, and we may do that a little bit later on. When I was a kid, I was fortunate to grow up in a city where a lot of jazz musicians passed through. When I was 5 years old, the Hotel Canton nearest my neighborhood was added to the Green Book. It had always been an unofficial Green Book place, but once it was added to the Green Book in 56, 57, everybody, you know, who was groovy, trying to get from Joplin, Missouri to L.A., you know, made Oklahoma City look mighty pretty between Amarillo and Joplin. You know, they all stopped there, and there was this Green Book hotel called the Canton Hotel down on Deep Deuce. These cats would go and they would play cotillion music and dance music across town where we didn't go. And then afterwards, they come back across to the black neighborhood and fuck that music up. And they call that jazzing the music, you know, jazzing the music. We real cool, we left school, right? We lurk late, we strike straight, we sing, we thin gin, we jazz June, we die soon. And that's where that come from. I was fortunate enough to be witness to a lot of real cool jam sessions, you know. These dudes was drunk as a skunk, just got off work playing downtown, come across the Second Street to keep us up all night, Jazz in June. And I wanted to be able to do that, but I didn't have an instrument. So I kind of tried to develop myself into an instrument. And I was always imagining the words that were being said when they were taking solos. And so that's what this is about. I've been lucky as I can possibly be to have these musicians with me. Chris Foster, Tulsa. Chaslin Rook. Gary, I don't know your last name. Huh? Gary Adolph from Heaven. Zach Elkins, you'll hear why later on. Zach Elkins from right here in Dodge. And Steve, I didn't get your last name? Steve Schultz from Tulsa. Right on. And my beloved cousin, Danny Wilson, back here, anchoring me on, what do you play? Drums, percussion back here. My cousin and I have been doing this. Stuff here since 1969-70. We used to do it on the back of trucks down in Oklahoma City when the Juneteenth thing and all that got started. So it was beautiful. I'm aging you. But to have all these beautiful musicians to come in, we haven't had no rehearsal. We picked a couple of 3 tunes that everybody knows, right? We set it in the blues, and then they allowed me to stick these clumsy words off in there, in between some of these solos. And we're going to begin it with, excuse me, I got to figure out how to scroll up and scroll down. Okay. We're going to begin with a tune called All Blues, but I'm going to open with, y'all know Lift Every Voice and Sing? Used to be called the Negro National Anthem. It was written by James Weldon Johnson. In a collection of his verse here, he has a sonnet called Old Black and Unknown Bards, right? And that's where we're going to begin, and the rest of it you'll be able to figure out for yourself. O black and unknown bards of long ago, how came your lips to touch the sacred fire? O black and unknown bards of long ago, how came your lips to touch the sacred fire? How in your darkness did you come to know the power and beauty of the minstrel's lyre? Who first from midst his bonds lifted his eyes? Who first from out the still watch, lone and long, feeling the faith of prophets rise within his soul, dark kept soul, burst into song? The blues. The blues. The sound of tears and dews. It's like blue and blue and blue and blue and blue. When your after school care is stitches and dews, and your lullabies are either jazz or blues, you grow up ready 'cause it's bound to come, learning the way of keeping it numb and not give one single fuck. Muscle memorized, we wear the mask cool, alpha to omega of survival school. Situation normal, all fucked up. The blue, 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 blue. That's what I'm talking about right there. Ready for the blues every fucking day. The blues gonna be coming from every which way. The prophet is prophet, or so they say, and live them blues every goddamn day. The time's gonna come when the time's gonna go, and where the time went won't nobody know, because the ebb's gonna ebb and the flow won't flow, and that clock on the wall won't mean nothing no more. 'Cause that time is now, and now's the time, and that's the reason why we dropping this rhyme about them blue, 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 blues. And the blues that we things to choose. The blues and the do's and the things we choose to choose. Ourselves with which to amuse, bemuse, confuse, or muse. It's all the dadgum blues. All that peripheral sideways chatter, all that bullshit supposed to matter, clatter, splatter, not news. If I may say so, it's all blues. It's the blues what matter. Everybody want to go to heaven. Don't nobody want to die. Everybody wants to know your truth and trade you off a damn lie. Everybody crazy about all the what. Ain't nobody asking why. It's the blue, 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 blues is true. It's the blue, blue, blues, blues is true. Jimmy crack corn and I don't care. This is the blues always everywhere. Walking blues, talking blues, just like air. It's the only way to take it easy from here to there. The blues. Seems that I read or somebody said out of sight, out of mind. Maybe that's so, but I tried to go and leave you behind. And what did I find? The blues. Hell, I took a trip on a train and I thought about yous. Passed by a shadowy lane and all I found was the blues. The blue, 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 blues. Thank you. Yes, sir, Bob. Wow. And they let me stand up here and talk with them, you know. He said his name is Gary, but I swear it's Gabriel, you know. It's got to be Gary Gabriel something, you know. So bless you. Thank you very much. No, that's the point. That's the point. Yeah. I'm just circling the airport. Okay. Yes, I. Call that improvisation, what they call that. I doubt not God is good, well-meaning, kind. And did he stoop to quibble, could tell why? The little buried mole continues blind. Why flesh that mirrors him must someday die? Make plain the reason tortured Tantalus is baited by the fickle fruit. Declare if mere caprice dooms Sisyphus to struggle up a never-ending stair. Inscrutable his ways are and immune to catechism by a mind too strewn with petty cares to ever understand what awful brain compels his awful hand. Yet do I marvel at this curious thing, to make a poet black and bid him sing. Amazing how many mornings, wakened by a reveille of bird song and miles, chased by a cold train of emotion, from out of the dreams of the ocean, whispering, so what? To which I respond, so what about so what? What streaming volcano of emotion boils beneath that devil-may-care guise? What precedes, intercedes, concedes, what is to be or not to be? So what's the truth and what's the lie? If you must ask, then what's the why? And he just kept saying, I can't breathe, called for his mother. So what? He kept saying, I can't breathe. Called for his mother. So what? I used to sit with kings and kush. So what? I ain't no monkey out the bush. So what? It really doesn't mean a thing. Life either swing or does not swing. So what? I just decided to sing. You give your hand to me and then you say hello. And I can hardly speak. My heart is beating so. And anyone can tell. You think you know me well, but you don't know me. He kept saying, I can't breathe. He kept saying, I can't breathe. Called for his mama. So what? Ain't no blueprint to who I be. So what? I sprang from spontaneity. So what? Straight into visibility. That's what. You never ever get to see me yield to negativity. So what you see is what you get. A swinger broke but out of debt. A singer emptied of regret. That bird escaping from the net. The misbegotten yet beget. So what? That is the question lingering yet. To have to take what you can get sure can make a whole heart upset. So what? broken strings, broken threads, broken springs, broken idols, broken heads, people sleeping in dadgum broken beds. Ain't no use jiving, ain't no use joking. Everything is broken. Broken bottles, broken plates, broken switches on broken gates, broken dishes, broken parts, streets are filled with broken hearts. Broken words never meant to be spoken. Everything is broken. You be coming on tricky in a deceptive dance. Your serpent seduction never have no chance. All you ray gun man can't seem to understand. It's a damn disgrace the way you lie in our face and tell us situation normal, all fucked up. When magicians, politicians got the world corrupt. When up is down and down is up, you call it situation normal, all fucked up. The stupid and the greedy seem to get ahead, and us naturally gentle ones filled with dread. Pimpers and the politician in the same damn bed. Ain't no emergency, but it's a situation red, and they call it the situation normal, all fucked up. These charlatans and leeches got the world corrupt. The noble looking lowly while the low rise up. Situation normal, all fucked up. Like selfish little children hurting all their toys, creating confusion with their plans and ploys. You know them by their works. They're the ones who destroy and tell you situation normal. That's fucked up. These yuppies and buppies got the world corrupt. When the bottom hits the top and the bottom rise up, you got situation normal, all fucked up. Okay. Say what now?
I do my show all the time.
I'll tell you what. Let's take a pause for a minute. How about that? All right. Let's take a break for a minute. Let me fumble through all these words up here, and we might come out and do another musical number that we have no idea what it'll be, like Grateful Dead style. And maybe you can partake of a drink or use the restroom or get a breath of fresh air or whatever. Thank you.
They came in real quiet while you were doing it. That was great.
That's it. That's the thing.
And that solo.
It's all jamming. Jamming.
Because you were like, I think you were starting to go and I was cute, but then you took the next time. And it was, well, no, I mean, you should have just gone because you wasn't looking at it.
Money talks. Money talks. Can I tell you a story? Money talks. Hey. Money talks. Can I tell you a story? Money talks and it says strange things.
Not yet. Not yet.
Money talks. You better believe it. You know. It makes you do strange things, you know. Yeah. Money talks. That's just the way of getting you all's attention. Thank you so much for, these kind of things are the kind of things you read about happening somewhere else. San Francisco or Kansas City or somewhere, you know. And that's a real blessing. We have to have those musicians. Don't let them sneak away, man. Don't let them musicians leave.
Do you need me to catch them?
I need someone. Don't let the musicians depart.
They're coming. I was going to
Okay.
say, Morris is directing me to find these.
No, I'm not. I'm asking for the musicians to be brought back in here. So, and what I was about to say, I gotta before I forget, especially when it comes to jam sessions, we're in an era where we all gonna have to collectively work together to recreate good stuff before it gets buried in the sands of time and have to be excavated by our grandchildren's grandchildren like hieroglyphics. We're in an era where we have to get together and preserve this. And so, being able to do this is a blessing. You know, it's given to all of us. It has nothing to do with any one individual of us and everything to do with every one of us, you know. I feel blessed to be crazy enough to ask people to do it with me, you know. And now I remember what I was going to say. It cannot be done without the kind of audience and the kind of reciprocity and nonverbal, non-musical communication that you all have given us this evening. And the more you give to a jam session, the more you get, you know. And that was kind of righteous. It was almost like being in Europe this evening. What I felt out, y'all, you know, or at least, you know, on one of these coasts or something. But this is Bartlesville, right? And right. And we get a whole lot of culture. We get a whole lot of culture from everywhere, you know. I got to thank Donnie and Bridget for, you know, creating this space for us and enabling us to do this. I have to thank Shannon Pat and the Westside Community Center for pulling me out of the grave and making me come back and do poetry. We still do poetry over there once a month, poetry night over there, the Westside Community Center. And obviously, we know we're going to be hoping to do some more poetry and jazz over here. You know, I just don't know how open the mic gonna be over here. So that's the only caveat on that. I want to be honest with you. I have a couple of things I want to do before we leave. But the main thing I want to do, because we've been so blessed, is give each one of these musicians the opportunity to step up here, really introduce themselves where you can really hear who they are, even if they have to spell it. I'm serious, boy, I'm serious. Even if they have to spell it, because you need to know these peoples and what they doing and be able to contact them and get them to come and do it again some more. And ask any questions you may have. Is Angela Box here? Okay. Ask any questions you may have. I had to get that one in. Ask any questions you may have about them, their art, their craft, where they're doing it, if they belong to a band. Any questions you may have about that, okay? All right. We can start right over here.
Hello. Those are my performance classes, but I'm just up here naked now. My name's Chris Foster, and I play piano. I've been playing piano since I was a little kid. I got a band called Papa Foster and the Grits. Currently, we've been playing around for a few years. Got a horn section. A couple of these guys are in it.
Grits, G-R-I-T-S.
Grits, Papa Foster and the Grits. And I'm actually packed up because I got to go play with a band called Dane and the Soup a little bit later. But I don't know how that worked out. So I'm from Louisiana, and I've been in Oklahoma most of my life and been playing around Tulsa, banging around since I was a kid, pretty much, or in high school.
That's the Grits, Louisiana. That's
Yeah, well, I learned to make them, yeah.
How about Dewey? How about a little bit about Dewey and then you like
Oh, yeah, so I joined, I don't even know how I ended up getting up there. Somebody,
that's why I asked you to tell me.
well, someone told me about a poetry thing up there, in Dewey. I don't even know why I ended up in there, but anyways, I would play between some, but the poets would get up and do their thing. I'm a lot better at sitting back there than I am at doing this
I
stuff.
only mention because that was for me the genesis of this idea, the beginning of that dream. When Chris would come up, just spontaneously play. I never met him at first. I'm like, who's that playing piano over there? And some of the things worked, and then some of the things didn't work. And
We
we
try
both
to-
had a kind of simpatico. It seemed like at some point, sooner or later, we were gonna do this here. So.
Yeah. So
Papa,
6 years later or something. Yeah.
Papa, and the Grits.
Thanks, Morris.
Bless you, man.
Where are you playing next?
I'm playing with the soup in a like an hour. We've got so if you go to papafoster.com, and it's spelled like pop music or the southern version of Papa, Poppa, papafoster.com, you can find all the dates. So I think the next thing coming up is a Mercury Lounge gig, which it's kind of late, and then we do there's a place called Lowdown in Tulsa. It's a really great place to sit and listen to music. Great room, and it's kind of got in the basement, kind of a speakeasy feel to it. But drinks are high dollar, so I'd bring a flask. Really. Yeah, I usually owe them when I leave there, but so we'll be playing there in September. I think the first or second weekend of September, with the full ensemble, 4 horns and good band. Anyway, thanks a lot, guys.
Everybody wants to know about these bases, so let's just get this over with. Come on up here, Steven. I know that, isn't that interesting? I'm happy.
I didn't want to do this. Hi. My name is Steven Schultz. I'm a bass player. I play guitar. I freelance. I play with tons of different bands. I think I found out about this like this morning or last night, and been a pleasure to work with all these people. They're all incredible musicians. Great energy today. Great recording session. It's been an honor to be here. Thank you.
You all get to see the fun end of this, and we had a ball, But that is not to suggest that it was just a piece of cake. When you get this much talent, really, together, it can be fairly volatile, And to have this much talent collected with people who love the music so much that they're willing to work things out. I think we met Stephen at like 2:30 or something today, right? Really? 4? Yeah. And we were doing really good. This is important now. We were doing really good with the fundamental vision that I had. But you guys, most of you guys know me, it was just a little bit loosey-goosey, right? And didn't have a real solid spine, Stephen comes in like 3:30, 4 o'clock, excellent musician that he is. He's feeling it. He's willing. He don't know me from nobody. And he jumps in, right? And in the midst of it, he says, hey, this is not quite right. And we went through that collective gumbo of artists, all of whom have chops, right? And figured it out and worked it out. And that's the essence of this jam session thing, I must say the musicians did a much better job than me because of the word situation. I had to sit back about 5 minutes in the booth by myself and figure out how to transmute what they understood into my understanding about iambic pentameter, triptych, rhyme and so forth, which I was just, if you know me, screwing around with anyway, and there was a moment that was like 5 minutes or so where it was like childbirth for me. You know, it was like, okay, there she is, you know. I've experienced 3 home births, so I know what's up. But the beauty of it is, you know, what you got to hear here and what we got on tape, which is like monstrous stuff. Maybe you get a chance to, you know, get this, is crazy good. You know, the beauty of it was, you know, folks getting together within hours with incredible talent and incredible sacrifice to a certain extent, and collaborating to create an experience that will never happen again. This right here, it's gone downstream. You know, but it can be done every day, everywhere, by everyone, if we all take from artists the understanding of the necessity of that spirit. And you have to really love what you're doing. You know, you have to really love what you're doing. And I'd say again, you know, Stephen obviously really loves what he's doing, you know, and he did it really well. So I want to thank you very much. When I said to my wife, and I said, are we going to have this fine violinist come up from Oklahoma City? She said, violin? She listens to Miles Davis all the time, but she don't really hear it, right? Like she's supposed to. And so we had Ms. Rook come up and join us. Tell us about yourself.
Heyo. First, I just want to say that I've been feeling the love today. It is so rewarding to have you all here and just shooting the shit afterwards with your wine and your berries and whatever else, cheese. So my name is Chaslyn Rook. I'm from Oklahoma City. I mainly do classical violin. My main ensemble is a string quartet, which we've been slowly inching our way into popular music, jazz, funk, all that, hip-hop. We've gotten to collaborate with some really great artists, but mainly I'm doing opera, symphonies, reading a lot, and not so much jamming. So this was, I'm incredibly honored to be with these guys. I knew a couple of them and idolized them, so I've seen them perform some, and they're up here, so definitely an honor. This is the beginning of a journey, and Morris and I have some pretty cosmic connections through friends and pretty wild history. And the first time I met him was at my friend Jeff's house here in Bartlesville, and he came in and immediately we were talking about Miles Davis, and then here we are. So absolutely special to share the stage with you. Thank you all.
What's the name of your ensemble?
The quartet, Stringsmen OKC. Yeah, they're my best friends. Thank you.
My cousin Danny and I used to play with her uncle.
Yeah.
Right, Victor, a trumpet player in Oklahoma City, years and years ago, you know. And so after, you know, I'm so dizzy. After I met her, I thought I was going home saying, Rook. I wonder if she's related to Victor Rook, and doggone it, she is, you know. And they call it coincidence, not coincidence. Right? Gary?
Hello, my name is Gary Adolph. When I was young, my mom taught piano. She still does. And that's why I play the trumpet. I took 7 years of piano, and I begged her if I played anything else. Could I quit the piano? And she said yes, and a week later I got a trumpet. So, and I love the trumpet so much that I became a dentist. And quit playing. I didn't play for 27 years, and I started back in 19 and just trying to get it back. So.
I try to pretend I'm not, but I'm a perfectionist, and I'm in bed rocking and rolling the past couple of nights thinking, oh God, if I could just have a great trumpet player, you know. Chris had told me he knew a guy in Tulsa. This is a beautiful thing about the artist community. Yeah, I know a guy named Gary who might want to play with you, Joe. And I'm like, man, it'd just be perfect That's too much to hope for. I know, God, that's too much to hope for. I know Chaslin is classically trained. I know she can stroke out some trumpet intonations like she did beautifully, you know. So I'm just knowing that's gonna be okay, right? And I'm coming in, I'm reconciled to that, and damn, Gary showed up, and I'm like, oh Lord, you know. I'm saying, well, my goodness, you know, what more could you ask for? You know, and you couldn't ask for any more. So I gotta be very careful what I be thinking that I want, you know, when I'm just waking up and asking God for this and that, you know. Really blessed to have my cousin here with me. No, it's Zach. Zach from the Bus Station Poets. Bless his heart.
I'm Zach Elkins. I'm from Bartlesville. I live about 5 minutes down the road that way. I work at Trudy Credit Union over there. I started playing with Morris probably 2010 or something like that, and we've kind of kept a musical relationship. I mean, off and on, we found opportunities, and the whole time we've been talking about trying to do something like this and just trying to pin it down. It seemed almost impossible. So, like, this many years later, we actually did it. Feels pretty incredible. So we got something pretty special here that a lot of people don't realize we've got. I have to take the opportunity to let everybody know that I'm also the president of the board for the Bartlesville Symphony Orchestra. We can take all the volunteers, donations, anything. You know how nonprofits are. Things are shaky, and it's been a pillar of the arts in this town. We want to keep it thriving, so any help we can get, we'll take. So, thanks for letting me talk to you.
The song say, lovers come and then lovers go. That's what folks say, you know. Lovers come and then lovers go. That's what folks say. Don't they know that what we have is much more than they can see? You know that? Y'all know that song? Yeah. What we have is much more than they. What we have is much more than they can see, you know. And that's why, you know, when Zach and I were dreaming, it's in the midst here, you know, we're being called to do something, you know, that's much more than we can even see. When it manifests itself, especially in times now when everybody need to be creative and come on out with it, what's in you, you got to bring it on out. You know, get out in front of television lamenting the decline of the civilization because it's only declining because you're holding out. You know what I'm saying? So you got to come on out with it, and I think that's what we kind of represent or symbolize, I hope, this evening. My cousin, he's a youngster. Come up from Oklahoma City. We've done everything together, climb trees and make tree houses and get in trouble. And in the late 60s, you know, he was a drummer in the Douglas High School Trojan band, and I was a Trojan. And we started playing together, doing poetry together, and imitating the last poets and people like that, and then doing our own little Okie thing on that with some musicians. Way back when, further than I can remember. It's just really gas to have him with me here. Some kind of fruition for he and I. His name is Danny Wilson. Have him come up and tell you a little bit more than I already told you. If you have any questions before they get out of here, Chris, you gotta get? You gotta go? What's up?
First of all, I would like to thank the Bartlesville family for such a wonderful, wonderful experience. And I'm very, very thankful and very proud of my cousin and the work he's been able to do for the West Side Community Center and the Bartlesville community. We've been talking about doing something like this together for a long time, and like he said, we go all the way back. I mean, he's 6 months older than me, okay? And I'm not going to discuss our age, but he's 6 months older than me. Okay, so we don't, you know, we've been at this quite a while. I've seen him do some incredible things. I mean, he's a tremendous actor, writer, poet, musician, hell of a football player at one time. And I came up through too many hits to the head, right? But this has been a very special occasion for me. I mean, this to have a group of individuals, technicians, engineers, with so much expertise and a group of musicians that are so dedicated and outstanding in their craft, and have me come from Oklahoma City this far to be a part of that is just unreal. I mean, these folks here, I mean, when I stepped into the practice room earlier today, we were practicing, what was that, So What? By Miles Davis. I thought it was a recording. It was these folks. And I said, whoa, kids, you need to step your game up. You know what I'm saying? But I am very proud of him. I'm very happy that he had the opportunity to put his poetry out front. You know, of course, it should be on his watch. He knows how me and him could steal the gates off of hell and be back in heaven for God even though we was gone. So, thank y'all very much for the opportunity.
All right. I know that some of these folks have to go. If you have any questions before they split, you need to ask them now, because Chris definitely got to go. I'm not sure about Steve. I have a couple of poems I'd like to do for you before we part company. Then if there's any feedback, you know, anything you'd like to know, anything you'd like to say, anything you'd like to feedback, we'll take a few minutes for that. I want to emphasize that I came here to do this in 1980 for the State Arts Council of Oklahoma. And I was pretty well spoiled and taken care of when I came here to do that, you know. I felt pretty good about that. I came here to teach poetry to students at a school over on the west side that is now an old building across the street from the Boys and Girls Club. You know the school? Yeah, the State Arts Council brought me here. I was doing arts in the schools. They wanted me to go over there and do poetry over there. And, you know, it was really cool. When I came in, they were just finishing the community center.
Thank you.
Hey, bless you, man. Don't be speeding.
Thank y'all so much.
I'll be in touch. And when I came into town, you know, I saw them working on that community center, and I started salivating, thinking, oh boy, I'm gonna get that stage. I'm gonna get that stage. And I had a nice talk with Hal Holbrook about, you know, it's like, you gotta leave town, but this is gonna be my stage, man. I'm gonna get this. Got it with Paul Robeson, got it with Drive Miss Daisy, you know. You know, I teased Mr. Holbrook. I say, you have to leave, but this little jewel is mine, you know. Couldn't have done it in Oklahoma City because of racism, because I made a few mistakes down there and got in trouble. Yeah, I came here on parole. And that's one of the reasons why I felt so fortunate to be accepted by the State Arts Council of Oklahoma. And that's also the reason why when I went across town to work at that school and crossed the tracks out of a real multicolored, technicolored world into a sepia-colored world that was like 20 years ago, I stopped and looked back and said, damn. I called my cousin later that evening. I said, man, it's 1965 up here. You know, that was 1980. I had a 2-week residency, and I was supposed to be leaving. And of course, he said, man, brother, when you gonna come on home, get on out of there? And I said, man, you know, I really can't leave these people like this. And I wasn't just talking about the black people. Just too many smart people, too many resources up here with the railroad tracks dividing them. It's just unworthy. So I thought, well, you know, I'll stick around. If they let me, I can stay out of trouble, which I didn't always manage to do. You know, we can bring this thing together. And so I began this beautiful gift of redemption and being able to have a hand with James Abraham and others in integrating the West Side Community Center and bringing it from where it was a black community center to a mixed community center to a kids community center. Yeah, thank you very much. And in a little bitty place over there west of the place that we have now and in the new place, we used to have 100 kids up in there in the summer, teaching them art and dance and music and theater and pantomime and all that. And then we go down to the community center, right? No fee, for free, and perform summer fine arts. And everybody in town gets to come and see, wow, all these beautiful kids can do this play and do all this together from all these diverse families, kids who might never have gotten to see one another, got to know one another and do this thing together. They bonded for life in a way they'll never forget, because this group of this generation, a couple of 3 decades of kids, you say summer fine arts, they go, I got my t-shirt, you know what I'm saying? and that has been a real blessing. So I just wanted to thank, you know, everyone for coming out to support us, you know, and doing this, because boy, I had a nice ride with Jeff. I gotta give Jeff Holt, man. He gotta give him a hand. He took me down to Oklahoma City. He picked up my cousin yesterday, and we had a nice conversation, and just one of the smoothest rides in the world, you know. And we needed it, because me and my cousin was going back and forth about it. He was like, man, what are you talking about doing? You know, what are you talking about? Kind of like Stephen hit me when he come in and said, now we got to get some discipline in there, you know. What are you talking about doing?
Kind of like Captain Ahab after
Yeah.
the white whale.
Yeah. No. It's more like, and I'll do this briefly, and I'll do these as poems that we can say goodnight unless you have some questions or something. March 22nd, 1978. I saw Carl Walenda in San Juan, Puerto Rico, I think. You know, he think I'm crazy, but this is serious with me. The great Walenda, he used to go out on the high wire with his whole family up on his shoulders. And, the flying Walendas, but he'd go out on the wire with layers of his people. Up, and he's the one on the wire, right? He got old. About the age I am now, you know, and he went down to San Juan, Puerto Rico. The wind was way too high, and he was going to walk between these two hotels anyway. Hush, Danny. He was going to walk between these two hotels anyway. He had walked across the Grand Canyon and up by the Empire State Building and all that, and he got out on that wire and went to wiggling, and got a little bit further out on the wire, you know, and then he fell. Yeah, sometimes you fall, you know. If you believe, you get up somewhere. He went down doing what he did. You know, everybody related to him tried to keep him from doing that. But don't feel bad. He was a great Walenda. He went out Walending. Yeah, doing his thing, you know, and I've kind of been obsessed with that, and that's why me and my cousin were talking about. I kept saying, man, you know, if it ain't scary, it ain't no fun, you know. He's saying, well, what we gonna do? What we gonna do? What key? What, you know? Me and him done this all the time, right? Yeah, but that was before I started having seizures and stuff, so nobody's sure about me right now, you know. But I imagine that they're all sure now, you know, because we done it, and it was a beautiful thing. So I just wanted to say that that times are changing really swiftly, and all the good vibes that we create here, we got to take back out into the community. And sometimes you don't have to reinvent the doggone wheel when the wheel been already invented. And right now I'm talking about arts education for children. You know, you don't have to go to no scientists, rocket scientists, or have a whole bunch of planning meetings and this and that to figure out what's already been done. We did it over at the West Side Community Center in a little barn with 110 kids, you know, summer after summer after summer after summer. So with all the different facilities that we have to share around here, including the Westside Community Center, it can be done again. You know, all you got to do is stop arguing on Facebook and go meet and do it, right? So, and that's the end of that sermon. I just want to say that because the only reason I'm here tonight doing this, I wouldn't be here. I'd have got on back to Dodge with my check in 1980. But I just couldn't leave these people like this. You know, so I really want to thank all these musicians again for making this special, you know, giving me the opportunity to say to all of you all who will go your separate ways here in this town, you know, we are good enough to do whatever we want to do. We don't have to have a whole bunch of rehearsals. You know, we don't have to have a whole bunch of planning, meetings after meetings after meetings while the kids is out on the street in the summertime. We can just get up and do these things, you know. Thank you very much. Thank you. I wasn't sure how that was going to be, you know, taken, but that comes directly from the heart. And like I said, because it has everything to do with why I'm here, you know, why I'm still here, I felt good about being able to get it said to you. Everybody knows that the dice are loaded. Everybody rolls with their fingers crossed. Everybody knows the war is over. Everybody knows the good guys lost. Everybody knows the fight was fixed. The poor stay poor, the rich get rich. That's how it goes. Everybody knows. Everybody knows that the boat is leaking. Everybody knows that the captain lied. Everybody got this broken feeling like their father or their dog just died. Everybody talking to their pockets. Everybody wants a box of chocolates and a long stem rose. Everybody knows. Everybody knows that you love me, baby. Everybody knows that you really do. Everybody knows that you've been faithful, give or take a night or two. Everybody knows you've been discreet, but there were so many people you just had to meet without your clothes, and everybody knows. Who's that poet? Go to the front of the class, girl. Leonard Cohen, the great Leonard Cohen, right? You remember now? And everybody knows up in this tower of song. I'm just talking to myself. Hush, Daddy. I'm just talking to myself. I'm just talking to myself up here in this tower of song, right? That's my cousin back there. I love to piss him off, you know. I've been doing a good job. I don't get him up here from Oklahoma City very often, so I have to get it in as much as I can while I got him here, you know. I'm trying to find this thing, you are never where you are. You are always, you are ever there you are. You are always someplace else and thus. You are always someplace else and thus you are never quite with us. You are never where you are. You are ever, there you are. Always someplace else, and thus you are never quite with us. That's called cell phone. It's a good point, man. Sometimes them short ones can trick you, boy. You know? I'm gonna do this one more time, and you have to bear with me, and then I have one more after that. I've done this one tonight, but you know how we are about listening, and communication don't always work. And this is very important to me. I'm gonna say this in behalf of all of us here, because obviously we ain't all superstars, or we wouldn't be here doing this. You know, some places you'd have to be calling Ticketmaster and stuff to see us. But you just got to come over here, just like this, and see all these people, because they're artists. You know what I'm saying? They're not products, right? They are artists. And you don't see very many of them these days before they get pimped out very quickly. So I'm gonna do this one more time. Bear with me, because I really wanted to get it across, and then I'll do one more, and we'll say au revoir. I'll be the same. Y'all didn't know I spoke German, did you? I'll be the same. I'll be the same. That's what my son saw. I used to say, my wife's from Denmark, and I used to say, I'll be the same. I said, that's German, son. You know? It's Oklahoma City German. I'll be the same. I'll be the same. I'll be the same too. You know? Okay. This was that guy, Yannis Ritsos. This is a really important poem to me, obviously. Has everything to do with the great Walenda and about these folks with whom I played tonight without rehearsal, you know, and about what really being engaged in the mutuality and what you give is what you get as far as art is concerned. I hide behind simple things that you may find me. If you don't find me, you'll find the things. You'll touch what my hand touches. The imprints of our hands will merge. The August moon glitters in the kitchen like a pewter pot. It becomes like this because of what I tell you. It lights up the empty house and the kneeling silence of the house. Always the silence remains kneeling. Every word is a way out. For an encounter often canceled, and then a word is true when it insists on the encounter. And that's what being compelled to be in tune, especially when you have a bass player taking a long solo, you know, and everybody's engaged, hoping it all works out. It all works out. We all just hanging like, it all worked out, you know. It insists on the encounter because of the risk and the heart involved. Not to mention the musicianship and the confidence that, hey, I'm going to take you all the way there, and I'm going to bring you all the way back. Just trust me. This is the last one of the evening, and I want to thank you all. Thank Bridget. You know, Danny referred to it. There's been a lot of cool stuff going on around here. Everybody, this lady here, everybody around here has been an expert today, engaged and involved in this because of their love for what they do, their art and craft, their love for these people who are doing this here, you know, and God bless me, you know. Their love for me, you know, and I'm very humbled by that. You know, I was just amazed to see it. So many expert people, you know. They say an expert is a man a long way from home, right? All these people from right here, you know. They don't have to go a long way to claim, I can do this, I can do that, you know. These are experts that are right here, and it's hard to believe because like they say, every expert poet should be dead 100 years, right? And playwrights 300 years. In order to be an expert, you know, you got to be past. I'm going to close with this one before I go too far. This is Rumi. It's called The Old Poet's Waking. The old man's heart woke, no longer in love with treble and bass, without weeping or laughter. The old man's heart woke. No longer in love with trouble and bass, without weeping or laughter. In the true bewilderment of soul, he went out beyond any seeking, beyond words and telling, drowned in beauty, drowned beyond deliverance. Waves cover the old man. Nothing more can be said of him. He has shaken out his robe, and there's nothing in it anymore. There is a chase where a falcon dives into the forest and does not come back up. There is a chase where a falcon dives into the forest and does not come back up. Every moment the sunlight is totally empty and totally full.
Thank you, Morris. Thank you for sharing so much of yourself with us. It's been a really special day, and I just thank you so much. I don't have anything special to say other than how much I appreciate you.
You guys have said it all by assembling all these beautiful expert people around me.
Thank you all for coming today, and this has just been so incredible. So many talented musicians, and Jeff Hogue helped incite this occurrence. We have so many people that did whatever they're best at. They came here and they did it. And so thank you all for coming. We have another show coming right up. Even though I hate to say this is a show, this was an experience. On next Sunday. And it's Gypsy Twang, and they are like traditional country, all original Western swing, honky tonk kind of stuff. Gypsy Twang. Sarah Barker, she's played Sunfest, Big Bad Barbecue, and the Farmers Market, so y'all might know her.
Did you all see Chris Foster here last week? So you gotta make sure you keep up with what's going on. You might miss something really.
So yes, thank you. Thank you, everybody.